Hello and welcome to Fort Bragg Timberwolves football for MendocinoTV.com and for the Skunk Radio. I'm Lindy Peters. We're all set for the very first game of the year. The McKinleyville Panthers are in town to take on the Fort Bragg Timberwolves. In the junior varsity contest, Fort Bragg won by a score of 12-6. An exciting first touchdown just before halftime when Taylor Sullivan, the quarterback, pump faked on a fourth down play and ran it in from 17 yards out to score the first touchdown. McKinleyville would go on to tie it up in the third quarter. It was 6-6 going into the fourth quarter, but then Tyler Baker with a short touchdown run for Fort Bragg, and their defense held on to win it. The JV's game is over. Fort Bragg has beat the McKinleyville Panther JV team by a score of 12-6. Now we get set for varsity football action. First off, let's talk about the Fort Bragg Timberwolves coming off a tremendous year last year, and two of their skill position players are back. Quarterback Tyler Ashby is back in better shape than ever, and the exciting, thrilling running back Zach Smith is back, and boy, did he have a great year as a junior. He expects to even have a better year as a senior. We'll have a special halftime interview with head coach Roy Perkins talking about the upcoming season, but now let's get set for some Timberwolf action tonight. The Timberwolves and the McKinleyville Panthers. First off, the Fort Bragg Timberwolves will be running their same veer option that they ran last year with head coach Roy Perkins. Again, Tyler Ashby, the quarterback. He can run, he can throw, and he's got some good skill position receivers. Ty Vaughn is back from last year at receiver. He really showed good promise last year, and towards the end of the season, he came out and made some big plays for the Timberwolves, including a touchdown in the playoffs against the Piedmont Highlanders. As I mentioned, Zach Smith, the outstanding running back, also looks good on defense at outside linebacker. Expect him to make a lot of tackles. And Tyler Ashby, the quarterback for the Timberwolves, who has to run that veer option, showed that he could throw the football last year when they took on Willits, and they had to come from behind with an exciting, thrilling victory. He had to throw the football in the fourth quarter. They knew he was going to throw the football, and yet he succeeded and brought his team to victory. Head coach Roy Perkins expects a lot of things out of this team this year, but you never know. This is the first game, so we'll find out tonight. Again, this is MendocinoTV.com. I'm Lindy Peters for the Skunk. We're rebroadcasting this game Saturday morning. Let's talk now about the McKinleyville Panthers, who are down here from up there in the Big Five. Now, the Timberwolves lost just 2 games last year. One was to Arcata, and the other was to St. Bernard's. Both of them on the road up in the northern part of California, up in the same area where McKinleyville comes from. So expect a good game. The Panthers always have a strong football program. Expect the same tonight. They're led by their quarterback, Lane Grace. They'll run that same veer offense, so look for him to either run the football, give it to his running back, who is Thomas Gunderson. He's the top running back for McKinleyville. And on defense, they basically run a 4-4-3. They'll have 4 down linemen. They'll have 4 linebackers, 2 inside, 2 outside, and then 3 in the defensive backfield, 2 cornerbacks, and led by a safety in the defense. Their defense is led by linebacker Troy Hillegeist and also Mark Mateig. So look for the McKinleyville Panthers to run a stout defense, but can they stop Zach Smith? We're going to find out tonight. So get set. Fort Bragg Timberwolves football is next. Again, we're rebroadcasting this game on the Skunk FM. I'm Lindy Peters for MendocinoTV.com and the Skunk. Get ready. Fort Bragg Timberwolves football is coming up. We got a big crowd. The fog has rolled in. It's typical Fort Bragg football weather tonight. We're set for a great game. The captains for both teams are now heading to midfield to meet with the referees. The Timberwolves co-captains this year, Tyler Ashby, Zach Smith, Brian Beckman, and Ty Vaughn. They're met there by the McKinleyville co-captains, and we're ready for the coin toss. The Timberwolves at home tonight. The fog has rolled in. Head coach Roy Perkins is set to open the season with the Fort Bragg Timberwolves. Talking to him yesterday, he feels his team is ready. You know, it's hard to tell. It's the first game of the year. He lost 17 who graduated from last year's NCS playoff team, the team that won the NCL1 league and the team that won the first round of the playoffs against the Piedmont Highlanders. 17 of those players have graduated, so there's a lot of new blood, but the JVs last year had a pretty good squad, so they're able to fill in, I'm sure, with some talent this year. Also, we forgot to mention as we opened this game and talked about setting this thing up that the Fort Bragg Timberwolves do have a student who is transferred over from Sacramento. His name is Nathan Johnson, and he'll be in the backfield with Zach Smith. McKinleyville has won the toss. They've elected to receive the football. So as we start tonight, The McKinleyville Panthers, wearing their visiting white uniforms with the black numerals and red trim, take on the home Timberwolves in their home purple with their gray helmets, gray pants, and they're fired up. Both teams now, as we get set to go, will have the national anthem and then get set for some high school football. You're viewing this anytime, anywhere on MendocinoTV.com. And this is a rebroadcast on the Skunk FM Saturday morning here. I'm Lindy Peters, and boy, it's exciting here tonight. We got a good crowd for the first game, and in fact, the McKinleyville Panthers have brought a pretty good crowd down from up there in Del Norte County as well. Usually there is a student who sings the national anthem. It looks like the choir is set to sing the national anthem this evening. Hopefully we'll be able to pick them up and hear them on our audio equipment as we get set for some football here tonight. Again, we're rebroadcasting this on the Skunk FM, and glad you've joined us here on a Saturday morning. So again, I'm not sure we'll be able to pick up the national anthem. If not, we'll get set for some football play-by-play coming up next. All right, we're all set for some great high school football action. I'm Lindy Peters for the Skunk FM and MendocinoTV.com. Once again, the Fort Bragg junior varsity team with Coach Frank Solari did a great job as they beat McKinleyville in an exciting game. 12-6 was the final in that one. And the Timberwolves send out their kicking team to get this ball game started. Special teams oftentimes not that much of a key factor at the high school level, but I'll tell you what, special teams are always important. So as a coach, I talked to Roy Perkins about how he's going to handle kickoffs here tonight, and he said he's of mind to actually have sort of a squib kick, to not try and kick it deep, to not try and pin the team back towards the end zone, but instead to kick maybe a low line drive or a ground kickoff so that maybe they'll get field position up across the 30-yard line, but it basically eliminates, or at least tries to eliminate, the possibility of a long kickoff return. So here we go. Mario Gonzalez will be kicking off for the Timberwolves, and we're all set to go. Fort Bragg moving. And there it is, a ground ball kick fielded by an up man, and he gets across the 40 to the 45 and across up close to midfield. Up man Mark Matei picked up the kickoff and ran it back to midfield where McKinleyville takes over 1st and 10. McKinleyville with quarterback Lane Grace running that veer offense that is so prevalent now at any level, high school, college, and professional. Of course, when you get to the professional level, it's normally called the read option, a little bit different than the veer option, but pretty much the same, where the quarterback takes the snap, sometimes in the shotgun, sometimes over center, can give to either the first man coming through, can keep it himself, or give it to a man sweeping, and sometimes you could throw out of that formation as well. In the backfield with him is Thomas Gunderson, as Grace will take it from shotgun. Two men split out to the right, one in the slot, and the hike is over the head. Grace fields the hike now, gets away from one man, and then runs out of bounds at about the 44-yard line. Chased out of bounds that time by Shane Tupper. As that snap went over his head, not a good start for McKinleyville. Fort Bragg will take it, but I have to give Grace credit. After that snap went over his head, he was able to pick it up quickly and actually bring it back, not to the line of scrimmage. It is a 5-yard loss, but it could have been a lot worse for McKinleyville. They're right up to the line of scrimmage and quickly ready and set to go. Once again, two men split to the right. Grace pitches, and they come back the other way to the left. That's Tanner King, the ball carrier, and he's brought down that time. A nice tackle coming up to meet him was Tupper once again. Picked up about maybe 4 yards. It'll be 3rd down and 11 now. The ball at the 49-yard line of McKinleyville. They basically run a no-huddle offense. They're up and ready to go once again at the line of scrimmage. Just underway, first quarter, no score. First possession for McKinleyville. Official timeout now for a moment. Again, they have a strong formation to the right. Grace, the quarterback, King in the backfield. Grace pitches to the up man who came from the tight end position on the left side. He goes around the right side, and Zach Smith tackles him across midfield to about the Timberwolves 45-yard line. They're going to be short of a first down by about 4 yards, it looks like. Ball carrier that time was Kelton McGarry. McGarry took the pitch coming from the left side and ran it to the right. And 4th down and 4 at about the Timberwolves 44-yard line. You would think they'd be punting here, but let's see. Smith is back in punt formation along with Nathan Johnson. The punter is the quarterback, Lane Grace for McKinleyville. He's back for the snap at his own 45-yard line, if indeed they're going to punt this away. Chances are they will this early in the game. There's the snap. It's a high snap. He fields it. The punt is nearly blocked, but he gets it away. Smith fields it and then drops the football. It's still on the ground, and I think McKinleyville might have it at about the Timberwolves 25-yard line. Let's see as they get through the pile here. Now the Timberwolves have recovered the ball. Zach Smith that time tried to field that punt while he was running forward, and unable to field it, nearly lost the football. But the Timberwolves retain it, and they'll take their first possession now at their own 26-yard line. 1st and 10, Fort Bragg. 10:19 to go, first quarter action. I'm Lindy Peters. You're listening to the Skunk FM, a rebroadcast of this game, and glad you've joined us here. Tyler Ashby in the huddle at quarterback. He sends one man, Tupper, out here to the right, another man out to the left. Two backs, Johnson and Smith, split behind him. Ashby over center. Takes a snap, gives to Smith. Smith, quick hit left side. Picks up just a couple yards maybe, and is tackled just across the 25 to about the 27-yard line, setting up 2nd down and 8. Smith, who's so good when he goes to the outside, that time with an inside run. Ashby comes over to the sideline, gets the play from head coach Roy Perkins, and heads back out to the huddle. Just underway first quarter, under 10 minutes now. They play 12-minute quarters here in high school football. 2nd down and 8 for Fort Bragg. The ball at their own 27-yard line. This time two men split out here to the right. It's a spread-type formation. Ashby's in the shotgun. Smith, the lone back. The give is to Smith coming right side. The pursuit is there, but Smith beats it to the outside and then is tackled at about the 34-yard line. He did pick up about 4 yards. It's going to set up about a 3rd down and 4. Ball at about the 33-yard line of the Timberwolves. Good pursuit that time. Thomas Gooderson with a nice tackle that time for McKinleyville. Smith tried to power his way over that time. Sometimes he's good when he goes to the outside and then cuts back, able to angle the pursuit and cut it back to the inside. That time, a nice play by Gunderson prevented him from doing it. So a big 3rd down now for the Timberwolves in their first possession. It's 3rd down and about 3. The ball at the 33-yard line. Again, Ashby's in the shotgun. 2 men split out right, 2 men split out left. Fake to Johnson. Ashby keeps it, and he's got a 1st down up across the 38-yard line. I think they're going to mark it about the 39-yard line. He faked to Johnson that time and then kept it right up the middle. They spread the defense out there with that formation, and then Ashby kept it himself in a nice run for the Timberwolves to get a 1st down. 1st and 10, the ball at their own 38-yard line. Timberwolves break the huddle and come up to the line of scrimmage. Tupper will split way out here to the right. That's Ty Vaughn split out left. Tight formation with Smith and Johnson in the backfield behind Ashby. Ashby with a quarterback draw, and he's only going to pick up a few this time, maybe about 2 yards up across the 40 to about the 41-yard line. Setting up 2nd down and 7. The Timberwolves like to run the football out of this veer. They don't throw it a lot. If they do get behind, sometimes they will throw the football. Sam Perkins limping a little bit back to the huddle, one of the interior linemen for the Timberwolves. Brian Beckman also on that line. The linemen don't get a lot of attention. We'll try and mention him when we can. Aaron Brown at right tackle. Inside of him is Galo Villapando at right guard. Ashby to the line of scrimmage. Man splits right, a man splits left. I formation. The give is to the first man through, and not much, but diving forward as Smith squirmed away that time. It looked like he was going to be stopped for a short game, but he did get close to 5, setting up a 3rd down and about 4 now. The ball at the 45-yard line of the Timberwolves. It's their first possession. We're just underway. First quarter, 7:30 to go. I'm Lindy Peters for the Skunk FM at MendocinoTV.com. Glad you're enjoying this game. The fog has rolled in. We had some beautiful weather here in Fort Bragg the last few nights. It was almost feeling like Hawaii, but not tonight. It's back to that good old Timberwolves football foggy weather here at Timberwolves Stadium, and a good crowd here tonight. Ashby takes a snap. Give is to the first man through. That's Johnson, and he's tackled. But again, it looks like a Timberwolf 1st down out to about the 50-yard line as Nathan Johnson gets his first carry as a Fort Bragg Timberwolf, and it's good enough for a 1st down as he picks up about 6 yards. A good 1-2 punch in the backfield. Johnson, like I said, a transfer over here to the Sacramento area, and probably going to help this program a lot. So the Timberwolves on a roll now with 2 consecutive first downs. Have got the ball across midfield to the McKinleyville 49-yard line. Ashby now in the shotgun. 2 men split left, 2 men split right. It's a spread formation. Ashby fakes to Smith, keeps it up the middle himself, and that's his play that picked up the first down a little while ago. Gets about 4 more yards down to about the 46-yard line. Setting up second down at about 6. Call that a 3-yard gain, and we'll call it second down and 7. So Fort Bragg moving the football on the ground. 6:27 to go, first quarter. If you just tuned in, McKinleyville got the kickoff on the... They won the toss and took first possession, had it at midfield to start their drive, but the Timberwolves stopped them. They punted, and now Fort Bragg in their first possession has ground out a couple of first downs. 2 men split out left, tight end strong on the right side, 2 backs behind Ashby. He rolls to his left, he's going to throw. He looks, he throws, it's overthrown a little bit. Ty Vaughn, the intended receiver, down at about the 35-yard line. That ball just out of reach, setting up third down now and about 7. Vaughn was open that time. And again, if you're a right-handed quarterback, it's difficult when you're rolling to your left sometimes to throw on the run. So here we go, third down and 7 now. The Timberwolves with their first big play here in this possession with a tough third down situation. Jesse Martinez splits out to the right. Tupper slotted inside of him to the right. 2 men split up on the left side as well. Ashby in the shotgun. Gives to Smith this time. He's got some room. He's to the 40, to the 35, to the 30. They're down to the 20-yard line and inside the 20, and a face mask call, I believe, as he's taken out of bounds by his helmet inside the 20-yard line. Boy, Zach Smith with a good hurdle at about the 30-yard line. I think it's got to be a face mask the way he was tackled there. Sort of a horse collar tackle, and it looked like his face mask was grabbed out of bounds. So we'll see what the penalty's all about. They're talking to the Timberwolves, so it apparently is going to be against McKinleyville. 5:52 to go, first quarter. Big run from Smith, his first big run of the season. On a 3rd and 7. Picked up about 27 yards. And the flag apparently is going to be against Fort Bragg. I'm not exactly sure what this is, but maybe our video picked it up. But it's moving Fort Bragg way back from the original line of scrimmage, nullifying that great run by Zach Smith. It looked like some sort of unsportsmanlike conduct call, but again, I'm not sure. It looks, I see what it is. It's offsetting penalties. That's what it is, offsetting penalties. So it's going to be 3rd and 7. They'll have to run the play again. They come up now with 2 men split out to the right, 2 backs behind Tyler Ashby. It's going to be 3rd and 7. Ball back where it was, the original line of scrimmage at the McKinleyville 46-yard line. Back to pass is Ashby. He's got some time. Rolling to his right. He looks. He throws downfield. It's caught. And Tupper is immediately hit, but I believe he's got a first down. Inside the 35-yard line down to about the 33, and it's a 1st and 10. A nice pass that time from Ashby as Tupper took a blow, hit out of bounds hard that time, and a nice defensive play by McKinleyville. Boy, they are hitting hard. The Timberwolves do pick up a first down, though. It's 1st and 10 at the McKinleyville 34-yard line. So after that offsetting penalty situation that nullified that long run, the Timberwolves still convert on 3rd down. This time Tupper splits out right. Johnson slotted inside of him. Ashby in the shotgun. Smith the lone back. 2 men split out to the left as well. And somebody moved. I think the Timberwolves may have jumped that time. Brian Beckman, the center, turned around, put his palms in the air like, whoops. So that 5-yard penalty will set up 1st and 15, mark it back down to the 39-yard line. Fort Bragg comes up to the line of scrimmage. Tupper to the right. Johnson slotted inside of him. Vaughn and another man split out to the left. That's Jesse Martinez as Tyler Ashby in the shotgun. Fakes to Smith, keeps it himself, goes right up the middle, and Gunderson brings him down. Also on the stop that time was Mark Mateg. but a decent gain that time. Picked up the original 5 yards they lost on the penalty and 3 more, so it'll be second down and about 7 down to the McKinleyville 33-yard line. First quarter, 5:21 to go, no score. I'm Lindy Peters for the Skunk FM, rebroadcasting Timberwolves football, and you're watching it anytime, anywhere on MendocinoTV.com. Again, 2 men split out to the right. Johnson slotted inside of Tupper. In the shotgun is Ashby. This time he gives to Smith. Smith pauses for a moment and is tackled right near the line of scrimmage. Kelton McGarry made the stop, only maybe a yard down to about the 30-yard line, setting up another third down for the Timberwolves. This has been a good drive. They've taken a lot of time off the clock, and they've been moving the football rather steadily, but the one big play was nullified on offsetting penalties. So it'll be third down and about 5. The ball right at the 30-yard line of McKinleyville. McKinleyville with that 4-4 defense. Offensive formation this time has Smith and Johnson in the backfield. 2 men split out to the right. Ashby right over center this time. Takes a snap, gives to the first man through, and diving forward, getting about 4 yards or 3 yards short of the first down is Smith. That was just a quick hit that time, a quick pop. It's going to set up fourth down and about 2 yards to go. The ball at about the 26-yard line of McKinleyville with 4:07 to go first quarter and no score. The Timberwolves will go for it here on fourth down. Ashby back to the huddle. McKinleyville again received the opening kickoff and punted the ball away, and the Timberwolves have had it ever since here in the fourth quarter. Ashby with 2 men split, 1 to the right, 1 to the left. Here's the big third down play that gives it to Johnson, and he is going to be dropped. I believe he got the first down. Let's see where they mark his forward progress. He got inside the 25, down to about the 24. And I think they're going to mark it for a first down. Let's see. It is a Timberwolves first down. Nice run by Nathan Johnson, who in his first 2 carries for the Timberwolves has picked up 2 first downs. One on the previous series there, and now as the drive continues, another first down. So it'll be 1st and 10. The ball at the McKinleyville 24-yard line. 3:30 to go, first quarter, no score. Tupper splits out right. Johnson and slot inside of him. Ashby in the shotgun with Smith the lone back. One man Tyvon split out to the left. Ashby gives to Smith, trying to get outside. He gets outside. Can he turn the corner? Gets to the 20 and knocks a couple people down as he drives all the way down inside the 15-yard line. Let's see where they mark it. But a nice run that time from Zach Smith, who not only turned the corner on the wide side of the field, but took about 3 tacklers with him as he picks up about 11 yards and gets a first down inside the 15 down to the 13-yard line. 3:11 to go, first quarter, no score. McKinleyville now backed up against their end zone as the Timberwolves get it into the red zone and have it first down. Moving the ball very well. Picking up a couple of crucial first downs. One on fourth down moments ago. Now Smith gets in the slot on the left side. Johnson, the lone back behind Ashby. There seems to be a little confusion. Now he's set in the shotgun. 2 men split out here to the right. He gives it to Johnson. Johnson's got some room. Gets up to the 10. Inside the 10 and down he goes short of the goal line. Inside the 5 down to about the 3. Another nice run from Nathan Johnson. Johnson's got some good size. He's tall. And it'll be the Timberwolves have it down at the 3-yard line. I don't think they got a first down. I'm not sure. They've called a timeout, I believe, for measurement to bring it across the field. The ball is on the wide side of the field, and the markers are all the way across, so they're going to have to run it across the field for the measurement. Either way, the Timberwolves have it inside the 5-yard line down at the 3. It's either going to be second down in inches or first and goal. Let's see. As they mark it and look across, here comes the chain gang. 2:45 to go, first quarter. I'm Lindy Peters. You're listening to a rebroadcast of this game on the Skunk FM. And if you're watching us on the internet via your handheld smartphone or maybe your laptop or perhaps your old computer, whatever it might be, you're enjoying this here on MendocinoTV.com. So here comes the measurement as they set it down. And they're short by less than a foot. So it's going to be second down and short. The Timberwolves have it at the McKinleyville 3-yard line. At this same spot of the field last year, on a 2-point conversion, Zach Smith beat the St. Helena Saints and propelled the Timberwolves into the playoffs. See if they give him the call this time. Johnson checks out. A bigger package checks in. Raymond Ritchie checks in for the Timberwolves now as they have it second down, about a foot to go at the McKinleyville 3-yard line. Timberwolves now huddle up with Tyler Ashby after the measurement. And again, there seems to be some personnel confusion. Running off the field is Ricky Cavender. Now they seem to be set in the huddle. 2:45 to go. First quarter, no score. The Timberwolves up to the line of scrimmage. This is where you have to play mistake-free. Now it's an I formation backfield. Scooty Titus in the backfield along with Zach Smith. Double tight end formation. A tight formation for the Timberwolves as Ashby is over center. Takes a snap. Pitches to Smith. Smith dives forward and he's in. Touchdown, Timberwolves. So Zach Smith scores from 3 yards out, and the Timberwolves have drawn first blood at 6-0. 2:31 to go, first quarter. Nice blocking that time. That was definitely the power run formation, and Smith almost ran right through his blockers that time. He was able to get into the end zone rather easily. And now the Timberwolves will go for the extra point. It looks like they're going to be lining up for a 2-point conversion here. With that same formation, the same backfield package, Scooty Titus at fullback with Zach Smith behind him, and with 2:31 to go, a timeout is called by the Timberwolves. They just scored. It's 6-0. I'm Lindy Peters for MendocinoTV.com and the Skunk FM as we rebroadcast this game. Coach Roy Perkins steps out on the field and talks to his team. Great drive from the Timberwolves. They took the punt, and they have taken most of the time off the clock in this first quarter, utilizing about 9 minutes in this drive. Remember, McKinleyville runs pretty much a no-huddle offense, so when they get the ball, it happens rather quickly. They come right up to the line of scrimmage and run a play. At least they did their first possession. They had to punt. The Timberwolves converted 2 third downs and a 4th down in this drive to finally hit pay dirt. So after the timeout now, Coach Perkins returns to the sidelines. And Ashby with his team now huddled out at about the 15-yard line. It appears they're going to go for 2. If you tuned in late, the JVs for Fort Bragg defeated McKinleyville 12-6 was the final. All right, here comes that same double tight end formation with Scooty Titus at fullback up and Zach Smith in the I formation, the tailback. There's a give to Smith again. Same play for the extra point. He drives himself forward. Did he get there? No. He's a little short this time. Good stop by McKinleyville. That was Bailey Turner under the pile there who made the stop. So the Timberwolves lead 6-0 with 2:31 to go as the extra point fails. So we get set for the kickoff now as the Fort Bragg Timberwolves culminate a nice drive that time. I guess the only downside is they were unable to get the extra point. They ran the exact same play that scored the touchdown, and that time the McKinleyville. So the Timberwolves send out their kickoff team. Mario Gonzalez, the kicker. And like I said at the outset of this game, Coach Roy Perkins tries to prevent any type of a long run back by kicking it rather short. But last time, McKinleyville on the short kickoff was able to get it up to midfield when it was run back by Mark Mateg, one of their outstanding defenders, not one who expects the football on a kickoff return. So we'll see where Gonzalez kicks it again. It's a ground ball, and there's Mateg picking it up again and getting across the 40, across the 45, and up close to midfield. He'll be in the books as a return man for a couple of kickoffs. He gets up a little bit of a limp, but for somebody who's mainly a lineman and a defender, a couple of pretty good run backs for the Panthers. So they'll start their second drive at their own 47-yard line, 1st and 10. 2:25 to go, first quarter. Fort Bragg 6, McKinleyville nothing. Panthers come up to the line of scrimmage. Once again, Lane Grace at quarterback. Out of the shotgun formation, they power it to the left side this time in that veer. And he brings it left. He's going to run it himself. Grace, he's got good blocking. A flag goes down and tackled from behind that time. Grace is tackled by Brett Giacomella. A flag went down in the backfield. That suggests a possible hold. Let's see. If it is, that'll nullify the play. They did pick up close to 5 yards on that as Grace took the snap and just ran it left to the power side of that formation, but the holding call will go against McKinleyville. It'll be a 10-yard penalty, and they'll bring that back, setting up first down and 20. The ball back to the McKinleyville 39-yard line. You're listening to the Skunk FM, a rebroadcast of Timberwolves football. I'm Lindy Peters here from Timberwolves Stadium. Also on the internet, it's MendocinoTV.com. Now they send the strong formation to the right. Lane Grace takes a snap, gives it to Gunderson. No fakes to Gunderson, keeps it himself around the left side. Gets by one man, then Johnson drives him out of bounds. And they run over the bench that time together as Johnson pulled back after he took him out of bounds. And there goes the Gatorade. As Grace that time picks up about 7 yards. Grace with good speed getting outside. Actually, call it about a 7-yard gain, setting up about second down and 13. The ball just across the 45-yard line. Again, quickly up to the line of scrimmage comes McKinleyville. Gunderson, the lone back, with the quarterback. Grace, it's over his head. He picks up the snap and is down. No, the ball's still on the ground. It's loose. And the Timberwolves may have it. Ashby thinks the Timberwolves recovered. And they have. Fort Bragg with a snap going over the Panthers quarterback's head has picked up the fumble down at the 25-yard line, I believe. We'll see where they mark it. Jones picks it up for the Timberwolves that time, recovering the fumble. Will Jones with a fumble recovery at the 28-yard line. So the first turnover, and it goes to the Timberwolves. First and 10 at the 28. 1:53 to go, first quarter. Fort Bragg leads 6-0. Timberwolves run up to the line of scrimmage now as Ashby will have Smith, the lone man in the backfield, with the spread offense this time. 2 men left, 2 men right. Ashby in the shotgun. Takes a snap, gives it to Smith, right side. Looks like he's got some room. The speedster's off, and he gets across the 20 inside the 18-yard line. Nice tackle that time by Travis Nichols of McKinleyville. Ball's inside the 20, about an 8-yard gain, second down and 2. 1:32 to go, 1:31 counting down first quarter. Fort Bragg leading 6-0, but they've got the ball in the red zone once again. Second down and 2 inside the 20. They're right at the 19-yard line. So in the shotgun formation is Ashby. 2 men split right, 2 men split left. Smith the lone back. Fake to Smith. Ashby keeps it himself, running right side, and he runs inside the 20 for a first down. Or inside the 15, that is. I believe he's going to be spotted inside the 15. Peterson makes a stop for McKinleyville. Ball just across the 15-yard line where it's first and 10 Timberwolves. Under a minute to go now. The first quarter will probably end with the Timberwolves changing positions in the field here, but let's see. They still have time to get off at least one more play. Out of the shotgun is Ashby. 2 men right, 2 men left. Smith in the backfield with him. Ashby gives it to Smith. Boy, there's nowhere to go this time. He is tackled for a loss. Hit initially that time by Mark Mateg, and then gathered up by a few others, and the ball back all the way across the 20. About a 6 or 7 yard loss that time, and that should be the last play of this first quarter as the clock ticks down with 22 seconds to go. Setting up about a second down and 18. 13 seconds to go. Fort Bragg leading 6-0. And they're just going to let the clock run down and end the quarter. So we'll wait for the horn to sound here at Timberwolves Stadium, and that'll be the end of the first quarter. The score, it is Fort Bragg 6, McKinleyville 0. And the Timberwolves head to the sideline at the end of the first quarter with a 6-point lead. I'm Lindy Peters for the Skunk FM and for MendocinoTV.com. Get set. The Timberwolves will switch position, now moving right to left across your radio dial as we pick up the second quarter. And thanks for joining us here, whether you're listening to a rebroadcast on the Skunk or watching us via the internet on MendocinoTV.com. I'm Lindy Peters. The second quarter is coming up. Fort Bragg 6, McKinleyville 0. All right, here we go. To start the second quarter, Fort Bragg has it second down and about 16 or 17 to go. The ball at the McKinleyville 21-yard line. This time double tight end formation, backs in the I formation. Ashby pitches to Smith. He cuts it inside. He's got some blocking. Tough run that time inside the 20 down to about the 15-yard line, picking up about 6, setting up third down at about 10. The ball at the McKinleyville 15-yard line. The Timberwolves don't really have, from what I've seen in practice, and I can't really say much because this is the first game of the year, but when it comes to a place kicker this year, I'm not sure they've got one that can hit from this distance. So they're probably in 4-down territory at this point. Another big third down and long situation at the McKinleyville 15-yard line. Johnson in the backfield along with Zach Smith. 2 men split out to the left. Backs are split behind Ashby at center, and Johnson wasn't set yet. That'll be a legal motion against the Timberwolves, and that play will come back, and it's going to be third down and 15 now. When they came up out of that huddle, it looked as though Johnson wasn't sure whether to be in the I formation or split backs, and he wasn't quite set when that play initiated, and so a legal procedure called against the Timberwolves. So third and 15, the ball now out across the 20. 2 men split out here to the left. Split backs, Johnson and Smith. Ashby over center. Takes the snap, drops back to pass. He's looking to his left. He's got a man open. It's Tyvon, and it's knocked away. A nice play by McKinleyville that time. Defended nicely by Tanner Britton, who got over there. That ball hung up in the air just a little bit, but actually in Ashby's defense, he had to put that ball up in the air a little bit to give Vaughn a chance to run it down in the left corner, but it falls incomplete, defended nicely, so it'll be fourth down and 15. The ball still at the 20-yard line. Officials called timeout for a moment here for some reason, and it's because Fort Bragg has called a timeout. We're just underway second quarter, 10:58 to go here before halftime. Fort Bragg leading 6-0. I'm Lindy Peters. You're listening to a rebroadcast of this game on the Skunk FM, and if you're on the internet, this is MendocinoTV.com. We'll be featuring each and every game this year, rebroadcasting on the Skunk FM Saturday morning following the action, whether we're on the road or here at Timberwolves Stadium. And the Timberwolves games will be archived on the website at MendocinoTV.com, so you can enjoy them all year long wherever you might be. This is a great feature for kids on the team who have relatives who might be living in a different state, for that matter, in a different country. They can follow their team's actions all throughout the season here. We, of course, are your home for San Francisco Giants baseball, and that is why we are unable to carry these games live. They oftentimes conflict with the Giants, so to make it easy on everything, we just rebroadcast the games Saturday mornings at 10. And if the Giants play at that time, well, we'll move that around as well, the Timberwolves rebroadcast. So here we go, fourth down, 15. The Timberwolves going to go for it from the 20-yard line of McKinleyville. Ashby fakes, back to pass, getting a little pressure, throws, got a man open, he makes a catch. It's Johnson, he's still on his feet. Touchdown, Timberwolves. And I'll tell you what, this Nathan Johnson is some kind of football player. Ashby with a short pass out time, and Johnson with a great run after the catch, took it all the way to the end zone, and a fourth down conversion on both touchdown drives for the Timberwolves. This one much longer. Fourth down from the 20-yard line, and they score a touchdown as Ashby throws it to Johnson for 20 yards. Timberwolves now lead 12-0, 10:50 to go. We're in the first quarter. And the Timberwolves now once again going for 2 points with that tight double-end formation. Fullback, I formation, Smith. Here's that same play they got the touchdown on, and again it looks like it's good. Zach Smith takes the pitch, uses that power formation, gets across the goal line. The 2-point conversion is good. So the score with 10:50 to go in the half, it is Fort Bragg 14, McKinleyville nothing. The Panthers haven't had the ball on offense for very long at all here so far in this first half. It's been all Fort Bragg. All right, here we go. Getting set to kick off now for the Timberwolves as Mario Gonzalez. Fort Bragg has taken a 14-0 lead here. A 3-yard touchdown run from Zach Smith and a 20-yard catch from Nathan Johnson. And there's that ground ball kick, once again taken by an up man. This is Gunderson. Gunderson breaks through. Gunderson to the outside's got one man to beat. Stiff arms Tupper, and he's tackled At the 26-yard line, a touchdown-saving tackle that time by Tupper, as Gunderson took that short kickoff and nearly returned it all the way for a touchdown. So McKinleyville has good field position now. They have it at the Timberwolves' 27-yard line, 1st and 10 with 10:40 to go here in the first half. Fort Bragg leading 14-0. All right, so here we go. The Panthers have called a timeout now before their first play of this series. So we'll keep it right here. The Timberwolves, again, their philosophy on kickoffs is to try and kick a squib kick or some sort of kick that doesn't go deep and give a return man or a return team a chance to set up a long return. But I tell you what, these short kickoffs have actually turned out in McKinleyville's favor so far here tonight, especially that last one, as number 4, Gunderson, nearly took it all the way. 1st and 10, McKinleyville. The ball at the Fort Bragg 26-yard line. They also out of the veer formation, Gunderson in the backfield. Along with him is quarterback Lane Grace. The power formation to the right this time. Grace going to run it to the right. Got some blocking out there, and Ashby makes the initial hit, and then he's finished off by Ty Vaughn that time. Picked up a few yards down close to the inside the 25, down to about the 24. It's going to be 2nd down and 7, about a 3-yard gain that time from quarterback Grace, who simply took the snap and ran to his right. The ball now will be marked on the right hash mark. 10:26 to go here in the second quarter. Fort Bragg leading 14-0. Quickly, up to the line of scrimmage comes McKinleyville, as they don't spend a lot of time in the huddle. Grace gives it to Gunderson around the left side. He cuts back inside, and he is met and tackled short of the first down at about the 20-yard line. Across the field that time, making the stop for the Timberwolves was Shane Tupper. So it'll set up 3rd down and about 4. The ball at the Timberwolves' 20-yard line. 10 minutes to go now in the half. Fort Bragg leading as McKinleyville right up to the line of scrimmage. Grace takes the snap, gives it to Gunderson again, tries the right side this time, and he's hit and dropped for a loss that time by Tyler Ashby. Setting up 4th down now. Back to the 21-yard line. Call it the 22-yard line, so it's going to be 4th down and about 6. And again, up to the line of scrimmage with no huddle comes McKinleyville, as they'll go for it. Grace with Gunderson in the backfield with him. And that veer power formation to the left this time. The give is to Gunderson. It's a fake to Gunderson. Grace takes the ball himself and still on his feet, trying to get that first down, and finally tackled short of the first down. The Timberwolves are going to take over on downs, I believe. We'll see where they mark. His forward progression might have got him more yards than I thought, but I still think he's short of the first down. So it'll be 1st down Timberwolves as their defense holds. Coming off the field, holding his right arm, is Brett Giacomella for the Timberwolves. It appears to be okay. So the Timberwolves go back on offense as their defense stiffens up there on this no-huddle veer option offense of McKinleyville. And with 9:13 to go in the half, leading 14-0, Fort Bragg has it at their own 20-yard line, 1st and 10. I'm Lindy Peters. You're listening to a rebroadcast of this game from Timberwolf Stadium on the Skunk FM and watching it via the internet on MendocinoTV.com. Ty Vaughn splits out left. That's Tupper split out to the right. The backs behind Tyler Ashby as he's over center are Smith and Johnson. It's a quarterback draw as Ashby keeps it himself and gets some positive yardage, but not much. Maybe a couple yards. Setting up 2nd down and 8, the ball at about the 22-yard line. Well, leading 14-0 and primarily keeping the ball on the ground, the Timberwolves can use the clock now to their advantage as long as they have a 2-touchdown lead and are able to run the football. A lot of time left in this game. 2 men split out to the right. Backs are split behind Ashby, who's over center. Tight end on the left this time. Ashby back to pass. Rolling to his right. Looking, in trouble now. A short pass to Smith. He makes a catch at the 20. Cuts back at the 25. Fumbles the ball. And McKinleyville all over it. But let's see if Smith was somehow able to get that ball back. Referees are untangling the pile right now. And McKinleyville does have it. Smith was tackled by about 3 Panthers across the field. I couldn't see who recovered the fumble. But a turnover for the Timberwolves after that short pass. Smith definitely is being keyed on by the Panther defense, and here comes that no huddle offense right back out on the field now with a 1st and 10 of the Timberwolves' 25-yard line. Well, just when I said they can keep the ball on the ground and run the clock down a little bit, they put the ball in the air and lost it on a fumble. 8:10 to go in the half. Fort Bragg 14, McKinleyville nothing. McKinleyville huddles up this time and come up to the line of scrimmage. Lane Grace, the quarterback, with Gunderson in the backfield with him. They give us to Gunderson. He's hit initially and gets away from the first man and then is dropped. Making the stop was Raymond Ritchie that time for the Timberwolves near the original line of scrimmage. Nice run by Gunderson that time to even get where he got. It looked like he was going to be dropped for a loss, and as it is, I think he just got back to the line of scrimmage. So 2nd and 10. Clock continues to run, 7:46. McKinleyville starting to huddle up now, which they hadn't done up until this drive. They come out now with a different formation. 1 man splits right, 1 man splits left. Grace at quarterback, 2 in the backfield with him, King and Gunderson. King now goes in motion. Grace is going to keep it around the right side, and the defense is there. They stiffen up and bring him down for little or no gain that time. I think it was Ferreira. Didn't see exactly who got in there to make the stop. A little foggy here tonight. Not as bad as it got last year against Middletown. No gain. 3rd down and 10 now. 7:02 to go in the second quarter. Fort Bragg 14, McKinleyville nothing. We're at Timberwolves Stadium. This is a rebroadcast on the Skunk FM. I'm Lindy Peters. Also, you're watching this on the internet via MendocinoTV.com. Travis Nichols splits way out here to the right as Grace at quarterback in the shotgun formation. Rolls to his right, got some time, throws, and it's caught and almost into the end zone. Nice pass from Grace that time as they put the ball in the air, and making the catch that time was Colton Campbell right up short of the goal line. He stopped, setting up 1st and goal. So they come out of that veer offense, throw the football, and get it right down to the goal line. 6:32 to go now as McKinleyville is knocking on the door. Nice throw from Grace that time as he rolled to his right, threw it back across the middle. Campbell running a post pattern, caught it and stopped just short of the goal line. Now they come up in a pro set. Backs are split behind Grace. He keeps it himself, quarterback sneak, and I think he's in. There's a signal, touchdown for McKinleyville as Grace takes it in himself. 6:09 to go here in the second quarter, and McKinleyville right back in this game. 14-6 the score. So that was set up on a turnover as the Timberwolves turned it over deep in their own territory on the fumble, and McKinleyville capitalized, scoring a touchdown. Here comes the extra point attempt now by Galen Deemer. There's a snap, spots down, the kick is up, it's got the distance, and it's good. So the score, 6:09 to go in the half. It is Fort Bragg 14 and McKinleyville 7. I'm Lindy Peters for the Skunk FM and MendocinoTV.com. We'll get set for the kickoff for the Fort Bragg Timberwolves. We'll have 6:09 to go here before half to try and put some more points on the board. The kickoff is coming right up. All right, so here we go. Set to kick off is Galen Deemer for McKinleyville. You never know. The momentum swung towards the Panthers. See if he actually kicks it deep or maybe tries an onside kick here. I wouldn't be surprised if he tried to put it onside. Johnson and Smith deep for the Timberwolves. He does, in fact, kick it off. And it's going to be taken by Zach Smith at the 10. Coming to the left side. Got good pursuit. Gets a nice block. Gets across the 20 down to the 30-yard line. As Shane Tupper blocked a man who's still down. He may have knocked out Tanner Britton. Britton slowly rolls over, and he's hurt. As Shane Tupper laid out a block that sprung Zach Smith from his 15 all the way out to the 30-yard line, but you do not like to see a high school player down no matter who he plays for. Britton slowly rolls over and rolls over again on his back as the trainers come out from McKinleyville. 6:01 to go here in this first half, 14-7, and that was a block. We'll take a little moment here and take a timeout. This is MendocinoTV.com, and you're listening to a rebroadcast on the Skunk FM. But let's take a moment here as they attend. Well, we'll keep it here. He's going to get up. Apparently he's going to be okay as he comes off the field. Tanner Britton, he's running off. May have just got his bell rung that time, but a beautiful block from Shane Tupper to set up that run back. I thought Smith got across the 30, but the Timberwolves bench obscured my vision. He got to about the 28-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10 Fort Bragg. Vaughn splits out left. Johnson and Smith in the backfield. Now Johnson comes to a slot here. Ashby in the shotgun formation. He gives it to Smith around the right side. Smith trying to get some room. He's got some room. He gets across 40 down to the 45-yard line where he's stopped by Gunderson, but not before he picks up a first down. Nichols also in on the stop that time. Timberwolves get a first down out at the 46-yard line. 5:53 to go in the half. Fort Bragg leading 14-7. Johnson and Smith again in the backfield. Ashby now calls out, and Smith moves to the slot in the right side. Johnson the lone back with Ashby in the shotgun. The give is to Johnson. He's got good pursuit. He cuts back and is tackled at the line of scrimmage. Nice play that time by Tanner King. Maybe got a yard. Call it second down at about 9. Gunderson also came in on the stop for McKinleyville. So the Timberwolves with second down and 9. The ball at their own 47-yard line. 5:13 to go here in this first half. Again, it seems a little confusion on the formation. Now 3 men split out to the right. 2 are in the slot. Johnson splits out left. Zach Smith, the lone back, behind Tyler Ashby on the near hash mark. And there's a flag down. It could be an illegal formation here or too much time. That's it, delay a game. The Timberwolves took a little too long setting that one up. Well, McKinleyville, after that touchdown, seems to have a little bit of the momentum now. 4:54 to go in the half. Now remember, Fort Bragg did kick off to begin the half. So in the second half, they'll be receiving the kickoff, but they'd like to maybe get some more points on the board. All right, here they go. Ashby back to pass, rolling to his right. A little pressure, short pass, it's caught, but right at the line of scrimmage, Smith, the initial line of scrimmage, makes a catch, about a 5-yard gain. That's the same play that Smith fumbled on a moment ago to set up that McKinleyville touchdown. This time it's going to be 3rd down and about 9. Ball at the 47-yard line. 4:26 to go here in the half. 14-7, Fort Bragg leading. I'm Lindy Peters for the Skunk FM, rebroadcasting this game on a Saturday morning. And you're able to view it via the internet on MendocinoTV.com. 2 men split left, 2 men split right. Ashby in the shotgun with Smith behind him. He's back to pass. He's looking to his left. He's got Johnson, and he drops the football. He tried to run with it before he caught it that time, and he had some room. So now it's going to be 4th down and the ball at their own 47. They're going to have to punt it away. Smith is the punter. McKinleyville will get another shot here. Back deep is Tanner King for the Panthers. Zach Smith, the punter, will be punting from his own 35-yard line. 14-7, Fort Bragg leading. And the punt unit is confused out here, and the Timberwolves are going to have to burn their third timeout, I think, just to get the punting unit out. No, McKinleyville calls a timeout. One of the problems when you have your first game, there are different packages for special teams. Your punt return, your punt, your kickoff return, your kickoff team. A lot of them have different personnel. And like I said, first game of the year, sometimes a little confusion, and it looks like McKinleyville that time forced to call a timeout. Maybe they noticed that since this is the first punt from the Timberwolves, that Zach Smith is back there in punt formation, and the coach might just be out there telling the Panthers to look out. This kid can take off at any time, and he can score from anywhere on the field. I have to say the McKinleyville Panthers have scouted Zach Smith very well, and he really hasn't broken off a big run yet. His biggest run was nullified on offsetting penalties. And he has scored a touchdown and an extra point. He's having a good game. But, again, you look for Smith to break off a big one at some point anytime the Timberwolves take the field on offense. So he's back there to punt from his own 35. There's a snap. And he punts it away. King receives a punt at his 20. Breaks one tackle, breaks another, gets to the 30, to the 35, to the 40, to the 45, and is hit by Nathan Johnson at the 46-yard line. And a nice return that time from Tanner King. And McKinleyville, with 3:50 to go here in this first half, has the ball near midfield. Well, let's see where they spot it. It's at the 46-yard line where it'll be 1st and 10 for McKinleyville, who once they started huddling up and running basically a little bit different offense than they opened this game, have looked a lot better on offense. They're huddled up again behind Lane Grace. Up to the scrimmage they come. One man splits out here to the right. Logan Bailey splits out to the left. This time straight over center is Grace. Grace gives to the first man through Gunderson, and he's got some big yardage as Ty Vaughn finally horse collar tackles him, but not before he gets a first down all the way down to the 36-yard line of the Timberwolves. So with 3:44 to go in the half, McKinleyville on the move, and the momentum definitely shifted to the Panthers when Zach Smith fumbled a few minutes back, leading to that first touchdown. And like I said, now that they've got a different offense going, this time Nichols splits out to the right. Another man splits far out to the left on the far sideline, and Lane Grace, the quarterback, will run out of the shotgun here. 2 men in the backfield with him. He's back to pass. He's got time. He's going to put it in the air long, and the ball is intercepted. Picked off by the Timberwolves, and he's tackled by Travis Nichols, but it's picked off by Devin Morgan at about the 10-yard line. So the Timberwolves on the turnover as Grace tried to go deep that time. Morgan stepped in front and got it. And it's first down for the Timberwolves, 3:15 to go. Ashby goes back to the huddle now as Fort Bragg stops that drive with a turnover of their own. And now they've got a long ways to go. But like I said before, Smith can score from anywhere on the field. And Johnson in the backfield with him. This time Johnson comes to the slot left side. Smith the lone back. Ashby keeps it himself around the left side, dodges one tackle, gets to the 15, to the 20, down to the 21-yard line, I think, and is brought down, but I think he's got a first down with 3:04 to go here in the half. Nice run by Ashby that time as he started to his left on the sweep on the quarterback keeper and then cut it inside. Call it a 9-yard gain. It's going to be 2nd down and 1. 2:50 to go. Fort Bragg leads 14-7. We're in the first half here on the Skunk FM, rebroadcasting this game on a Saturday morning, and you're viewing it on MendocinoTV.com. I'm Lindy Peters. Now in the I formation, Johnson the up back, Smith the back behind him. Ashby pitches it back to Smith. He's got one man to beat to get outside, and he can't do it, but he gets the first down. Nice tackle out there by Nichols, who's come up nicely to make a couple of stops. But Smith does get the first down. And the Timberwolves will have it at about the 24-yard line, or 23-yard line, we'll call it. 2:13 to go in the half, 14-7, Fort Bragg with the lead. Up to the line of scrimmage come the Timberwolves. Vaughn splits out to the left. Johnson in a slot on the left side. Smith the lone back. Ashby's in the shotgun. Got Tupper split out right. Snap, give to Smith, right side, and again he is dropped, but not before he picks up some positive yards and carries a couple of tacklers with him. About a 4 or 5 yard pickup. We'll see where the second down marker goes across the field. 5 yard pickup. Second down and 5. 1:32 to go in the half now as the Timberwolves lead 14-7. Turning out to be a really good game here tonight. The crowd enjoying it. Hope you are too, listening or viewing it on the internet. Vaughn splits out to the left. Johnson slotted inside him left side. 2 men split out right. Smith with Ashby at quarterback in the shotgun formation now. Ashby rolling to his left, looking, and he's going to get sacked. Good coverage that time. Actually had Johnson open out here to the left, but not before Gunderson was taking Ashby down for a loss. Clock continues to run, under a minute to go. It's going to be third down now. The Timberwolves could either just run the clock out or try and score on one play here. They have time for one more play before the halftime. McKinleyville going to let the clock go down. As I mentioned, Fort Bragg is due to get the kickoff to begin the second half, and now the Timberwolves call a timeout with 34 seconds to go here in the half, leading 14-7. Coach Perkins steps out there to talk with the team, and we'll keep it right where we are here on MendocinoTV.com and the Skunk FM as we get set for halftime. We'll be featuring an interview with head coach Roy Perkins at halftime, talking about the upcoming season, and that'll be part of our halftime feature. And we got us a football game here tonight. If you tuned in a little late, the JV contest, the Fort Bragg JVs won 12-6 as Taylor Sullivan was able to score on fourth down on a beautiful 17-yard run. He's the quarterback for the JVs. He did a pump fake on a fourth down from the 17-yard line and faked the man right out of his shoes and then tucked the ball under his arm and ran to the left corner of the end zone for a touchdown. Later in the game, a short 3-yard touchdown run from Tyler Baker. With about 3 minutes left in the game, the Timberwolves won it by a score of 12-6. The varsity now leading 14-7, 34 seconds to go. Third down and 10 from their own 24-yard line. Ashby fumbles the snap and luckily jumps on it, but it's going to be fourth down now with 30 seconds to go. McKinleyville, you would think, might call a timeout, but the clock continues to run. The Timberwolves don't have to get a playoff, and now a timeout is called. So the Timberwolves will have to punt. There's 20 seconds to go here in this half. You can bet they'll be putting the bums rush on and try and block this punt. One of the advantages to the Timberwolves having Zach Smith as their punter, if there is a bad snap or if there is a situation where he has to take off and run, you got the best running back on the field as the punter. So it's fourth down and 14. The ball after that bad snap, or I'm not sure if it was a mishandled snap or what happened on that exchange, but it's going to be fourth down at about 15. The Timberwolves at their own 18-yard line. The official says it should be 22 seconds on the clock rather than 20 seconds it's showing. So back in punt formation to receive the punt is Tanner King, who nearly ran it back last time. Smith will be punting from his own 5-yard line. So they got to have a good snap here. 22 seconds to go in the half. Fort Bragg leading 14-7. There's the snap. Smith, a low bouncing kick away from King. He bounces across the midfield and is downed with 14 seconds to go, make it 13 and a half seconds to go. The Panthers are going to have time for a play with the ball at their own 49-yard line. So good punt, really, from Zach Smith. He kicked it away from coverage and kicked it to a point in the field where it was not able to be returned. And the Timberwolves now just have to look for the old Hail Mary, as it's been called over the years. Try and make sure that doesn't happen. McKinleyville breaks their huddle. Lane Graves at quarterback. two men split out to the left. Bailey Logan and Aaron Hathcock. In the shotgun, Grace rolls that way to his left. He's got time now. He throws back right, setting up a screen, and Ashby with a nice play that time as Tanner King received the pass. They set everything up, moving to the left, and then threw it back across the field, and that's the final play of the first half. The score at halftime, it's Fort Bragg 14, McKinleyville 7. For the Skunk FM and MendocinoTV.com, I'm Lindy Peters. Get set now for halftime with the Timberwolves leading at 14-7. I'm Lindy Peters from MendocinoTV.com and the Skunk Radio, home of the Fort Bragg Timberwolves, and we're with head coach. All right, the second half is about ready to start. The Timberwolves have been in the locker room with Coach Roy Perkins. They're leading 14-7. They had a lot of momentum built up, and it seems to have been taken away a little bit by McKinleyville as we headed towards halftime. But Fort Bragg leading 14-7. They're going to get the kickoff to begin the second half. Let's review that first half here for a moment. The Timberwolves scored first on their first possession as they drove the ball down the field in a long drive that took up most of that first quarter, culminating when Zach Smith ran it in from 3 yards out for a 6-0 lead. The two-point conversion failed, however, and the Timberwolves had a 6-0 lead at that time. Then, on a fourth down play from the McKinleyville 20-yard line, Nathan Johnson caught a short pass from Tyler Ashby and did the rest himself with some great yardage in the RAC category, run after catch, getting into pay dirt and giving the Timberwolves a 12-0 lead. Zach Smith then scored on the two-point conversion to make it 14-0 with 10:50 to go in the second quarter. But then McKinleyville, after a fumble recovery, set up a golden opportunity at the Timberwolves 26-yard line. Were able to capitalize as quarterback Lane Grace threw a nice pass down inside the 1-yard line and then ran it in on a quarterback sneak, and that made it 14-6. The extra point by Deemer was good, and it was 14-7. The Timberwolves do have the lead 14-7, and they should be getting the football to begin the second half. This isn't rocket science. They lost McKinleyville won the toss and elected to receive, so the Timberwolves will have first possession here as we begin the second half. Again, the score 14-7, and the second half is coming up. Good crowd here tonight. This, of course, is Labor Day weekend. Paul Bunyan Days beginning today as Johnson limps off the field for the Timberwolves a little bit. He's been a big part of this game so far. Hopefully he's okay. Devin Morgan checks in. Came up with an interception for the Timberwolves in that first half to spell him in the backfield. And Morgan instead splits out to the left. Smith, the lone back with Ashby and shotgun. They got the spread formation right now. They give it to Smith. He's going to try the right side. Gunderson's trying to chase him down. Smith gets up to the 40-yard line and gets a first down. Gunderson and King combine on the stop, but not before the Timberwolves running back Zach Smith picks up about 12 yards and gets a first down at the 40-yard line. Just underway in the second half. Fort Bragg leading 14-7. They move the chains now and have the ball on the near hash mark here. As the fog rolls in, it's been rather balmy weather in the coastal region here for the last 2 nights, but not tonight. It's kind of chilly. It's definitely overcoat weather. As Ashby takes a snap, fakes to Smith, tries to keep it himself around the right side, and is dropped for a loss that time, or at least appears to have a loss. Stop made that time by Bailey Turner of the Panthers. And it is about a 2-yard loss, setting up second down and 12. The ball back to the 38-yard line of the Timberwolves.
That'll bring up second and 11 for the Timberwolves on the 38-yard line.
Vaughn splits out to the left. Jesse Martinez along with him. Morgan and Tupper split out right. Ashby from the shotgun with Smith in the backfield with him. Ashby's going to keep it up the middle. Good yardage. Breaks a tackle. Gets across the 50 down to the 44-yard line before he's finally brought down. Nice run that time by Tyler Ashby. Showing some toughness for a quarterback. Britton makes the stop along with Tanner King that time for the Panthers. So ball now in Panther territory down to the 40-yard line, and a good start for the second half here as the Timberwolves took the kickoff and have moved it down across midfield. Call it the 43-yard line where they mark it. 1st and 10. Ashby again with the shotgun formation. 2 men right, 2 men left. Smith in the backfield with him. Again, same play. Keeps it himself. Gets positive yardage across the 40-yard line, or near the 40-yard line, where it's going to be about a 2.5 or 3-yard pickup. Could be second down and about 8 now. 9:16 to go, third quarter. Fort Bragg leads 14-7. For the Skunk FM, I'm Lindy Peters, rebroadcasting this game on a Saturday morning. And if you're watching on the internet, this is MendocinoTV.com as the fog rolls in here into Timberwolves Stadium. Good crowd, and though not a lot of people made it down from McKinleyville, they're certainly loud there across the way cheering the Panthers on. Ashby takes a snap, throws a quick pass out to the left. It's caught by Vaughn, and he picks up only a few yards down to about the 38-yard line, where it's going to be third down and about 5, it looks like. McKinleyville has good pursuit on defense. Timberwolves having a little trouble getting outside via the pass and the run right now. So a big third down play at McKinleyville's 38-yard line. Ashby with Smith in the backfield. 2 men right, 2 men left. Takes a snap, gives it to Smith this time around the right side, tries to cut back, and he's going to be dropped short of the first down. Once again, that same kid coming up from a safety position is Travis Nichols. And Smith is going to be well short of the first down, setting up 4th down and 4. But Timberwolves will probably go for it. They're at the 37-yard line of McKinleyville. Kelseyville will be much later in the season, but it will be a home game this year. Well, at least I didn't say Boonville. So the Timberwolves are going to go for it. 4th down and a long 4 yards to go. They have to get it to the 32-yard line to get a first down to McKinleyville. 2 men in the backfield behind Ashby at quarterback. 1 man right, 1 man left at wide receiver. And McKinleyville jumps off sides, or were they drawn? They may have been drawn off sides by the Timberwolves that time on a quick snap count from Ashby, a hard count. The officials are talking about it, though.
Hey, folks, I'd like to remind you that Firewood raffle ticket 9.
It looks like they're facing against McKinleyville, and they are. So it'll be a 5-yard penalty, and it might be just enough for a first down. If not, it's going to be very, very close, setting up a 4th down and short. They look across the field to the chain gang over there, and I think they might call a timeout for measurements. In fact, that's what's going to happen. They're going to bring out the measurement to bring the chains across. 7:15 to go, third quarter. Fort Bragg 14, McKinleyville 7. This is the first drive of the second half. The Timberwolves, who started at about their own 24-yard line, have so far advanced the ball down into McKinleyville territory, where it sits at about the 32-yard line. And it's going to be pretty close. It looks from here, and I'm a long ways away, as though they may have it. Well, now they stretch it out, and it is a Timberwolf first down as the trickery works. Fort Bragg draws McKinleyville offsides on 4th down and 5, and the penalty results in a first down. So they move the chains along as the Timberwolves head up to the line of scrimmage. The fog gets a little thicker here at Timberwolves Stadium. Johnson now as a wide receiver splits out left. Tupper splitting out to the right. I formation backs behind Tyler Ashby. Tight end strong on the right side this time. Ashby takes a snap. Gives it to Smith. A quick handoff that time, and Smith is wrestled down, picking up maybe 3 yards down to about the 30-yard line. And again, the McKinleyville defense has done a really good job bottling him up. Mark Mateig on the stop along with several other of his teammates. 2nd and 7. When you keep the ball on the ground and you lead 14-7, here in the third quarter, the clock becomes your friend. 6:34 to go here, third quarter. Now the Timberwolves take a little time setting up this formation. Johnson still limping a little bit, slotted now on the right side. Tupper outside of him on the right. One-man split left. In the backfield is Zach Smith. The give is to Smith. And he's got a tough run as, again, he fights his way for any yardage he got as he's hit close to the line of scrimmage. Mateig is in there on the stop for McKinleyville. And about a 4-yard gain. It's going to be third down and about 2 yards to go for the Timberwolves at the McKinleyville 25-yard line. As the clock continues to tick down, 5:53 to go, third quarter. 14-7, Fort Bragg with the lead. Tupper splits out to the left, Johnson out to the right. Vaughn in a slot here on the right side. Now he lines up at tight end. 2 backs behind Ashby. The give is to the first man, Smith. He's got a first down with a quick burst. Gunderson makes a stop for McKinleyville, but not before Smith is inside the 20, down to the 18-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10. And one of the Timberwolves is down, and it's Zach Smith, and you don't like to see that. And it looks like he's holding his ankle. He's worked so hard this year in the offseason, and the key to their offense is lying on his back after the play, Zach Smith. Both teams take a knee. I can't tell if it's his knee or his ankle. It's his right leg, and they're moving it around a little bit. Smith, who made it through last year without being hurt and did such a good job, has got both hands on the side of his helmet. That is not a good sign. We'll take a little break. Coach Perkins, who walked and checked him out, walks back away from the injury right now and looks in the other direction. And this is the one kid on the entire football field for either team you don't want to see hurt. He's got such talent and such promise. Again, it looks like they're administering his right knee. And again, very thick fog starting to roll in here. He's moving the leg pretty good. He's going to get up, and he's going to seem to be okay as he moves that leg a little bit and trots off the field. Boy, I'll tell you what, I may have been the most worried person up here because he is so fun to watch, and we, of course, are going to be broadcasting all the games this year, but he's out of there, off to the sideline, under his own power. if you are injured and there is an injury timeout, you have to be removed for at least one play. It might be longer than that, but he is apparently walking off, trotting off, if you're watching on the video, under his own power, seemingly okay after what looked like it was maybe a serious injury. So it's 1st and 10 for the Timberwolves. At the 18, Ashby gives it to Devin Morgan, and Morgan's got a good yardage down inside the 10-yard line, close to another first down as Morgan steps in for Smith and does a good job running around the right side. And it is going to be I believe, 1st and goal. I think he got about 12 yards on that. It's hard to see again with that chain gang on the far sideline. It is, in fact, 1st and goal for the Timberwolves with 5:15 to go in the third quarter, leading 14-7. They're knocking on the door. Their first drive here in the second half. Morgan stays in the game. Smith stays on the sideline. Ashby comes up to the line of scrimmage. Nathan Johnson slotted right. Tupper outside of him. Ashby from the shotgun. Fakes it to Morgan, keeps it himself, zigzags his way close to the goal line as he gets down to about the 2-yard line or maybe the 1-yard line. 5:06 to go, third quarter. 2nd and goal now. Ashby, not a big guy, but boy, he sure is tough as he's been gaining most of his yardage inside, faking to the one back in the backfield and then turning and keeping it right up the middle. A lot of times when you have your quarterback run the football, he's running outside, but so far tonight, Ashby's got most of his yardage running inside. Morgan in the backfield. Back there along with him is Jesse Martinez, and there's a flag on the play. As the Timberwolves try and get it in the end zone, they're going to be short, and you hope it's not anything more than 5 yards if it's against the Timberwolves. And it is against the Timberwolves. So we'll sort this out. 4:27 to go, third quarter. Fort Bragg 14, McKinleyville 7. Lindy Peters for the Skunk FM and MendocinoTV.com as they mark off 5 yards against the Timberwolves and bring it out to the 7-yard line. It's a motion call, and it'll be 2nd and goal at the 7. Zach Smith, who left the game under his own power, favoring his knee, has been taken out for this series now. Morgan remains in the backfield. 2 men split right, 2 men split left. Ashby is in the shotgun at the 7-yard line. He gives it to Morgan. Morgan's got some room around the left side. Cuts inside. He's in. Touchdown, Timberwolves. Devin Morgan, as he read the blocks perfectly. And as McKinleyville stretched to the outside to keep him from getting outside, he cut it back inside and scored a touchdown. And Fort Bragg leads 20-7, 4:07 to go, third quarter. Nice run from Devin Morgan, who's come in and done a good job for Zach Smith. Okay, Morgan remains in the backfield. Ashby at shotgun as they go for the 2-point conversion. Ashby keeps it himself. Up the middle he comes. I don't think he got there. And they sort it out, and Fort Bragg is short. So with 4:07 to go in the third quarter, the Timberwolves have scored again on a 4-yard run from a 7-yard run, that is, from Devin Morgan. And the score now: Fort Bragg 20, McKinleyville 7. All right, we get set for the kickoff now. The Fort Bragg Timberwolves 20, the McKinleyville Panthers 7, 4:07 to go, third quarter. And a different man setting the ball up on the tee now. Shane Tupper is setting the ball up on the tee as McKinleyville is set to receive. Tupper kicks it away. It's picked up at the 20, to the 25, to the 30, to the 35, up close to the 40, across the 35 anyway for the Timberwolves. Couldn't see who made the stop, but a nice run back that time by Bailey Turner for McKinleyville. Someone seems to still be on the ground after that kickoff at about the 30-yard line for Fort Bragg. He's helped up. And that is Jesse Martinez as he limps off. Smith is still on the sideline, being looked at by Brett Stein, who's sort of the sideline trainer for the Timberwolves, seeing how his knee feels. But he is no longer in the game, and he's been a force on defense too. So here come the Panthers. Lane Grace at quarterback over center, 2 men in the I formation behind him, and the whistle stops the play. We're in the third quarter with 4 minutes to go, and Fort Bragg has called a timeout. Fort Bragg leading 20-7. We'll keep it right here during the timeout. Want to remind you that you'll hear all the games Saturday mornings from either Timberwolves Stadium or wherever Fort Bragg goes on the road. We'll carry all the action for you on the Skunk FM, and we'll also be able to bring you the video on MendocinoTV.com throughout the year. We'll be doing all the broadcasts on the radio, and the video will be on MendocinoTV.com. And they'll be archived on the website, so you can go back and watch these games as things progress here throughout the season. But here in this first game, Fort Bragg looking pretty good, leading 20-7, but a lot of concern on the sideline as Zach Smith is on the bench with an apparent right knee injury. Grace, the quarterback, gives to the first man through, and he is dropped immediately that time by the interior part of the Timberwolves line, including Brett Giacomella. Gunderson, the ball carrier, picked up maybe a yard, 2nd down and 9. McKinleyville showed some promise with their passing game towards the end of the second quarter when they scored their lone touchdown. They've stayed away from it a little bit here so far, although they've just got the ball on their first possession in this second half after the Timberwolves took the opening kickoff and went down and scored. Now Grace in the shotgun. Again, the give is to the first man through, and decent yardage this time by Tanner King. It's going to be short of the first down. It's going to be a 3rd down play for McKinleyville. The ball at the Panther about the 42-yard line. 3:06 to go, third quarter. Fort Bragg 20, McKinleyville 7. Not only is a fog rolling in, it's getting kind of chilly here tonight. Friday night under the lights at Timberwolves Stadium, rebroadcast on the Skunk FM. All right, 3rd down and about 4 for the Panthers. Grace is in the shotgun. He gives, and the man dives forward, short of the first down again. And that's King, the ball carrier. Picked up about 3, setting up 4th down and 1, trailing 20-7. The ball at their own 40, just across the 45-yard line. Let's see if they go for it or kick. With 2:23 to go in the third quarter, needing to get back in this game, my guess is they'll go for it. Quarterback Lane Grace with his team breaks the huddle, and they are going to, in fact, go for it here. 4th and short. Gunderson in the backfield. 1 man behind him, that's King. And it's a keeper. He fumbles the football. Then he picks it up and is tackled, and the Timberwolves will get it on downs once again. Bad snap by McKinleyville that time as Grace able to recover the fumble. It wouldn't have mattered who recovered the fumble because it was a 4th down play. So the Timberwolves get it over on downs as Smith remains on the bench. Devin Morgan, who's done a great job, stays in the game. He scored a 7-yard touchdown on the last series. 1st and 10. Fort Bragg has it at the McKinleyville 40-yard line. We'll keep watching on the clock now. 2:01 to go here, third quarter. Fort Bragg with a 2-touchdown lead. 1 man splits out to the right. Another man in the slot inside of him. 1 man splits out left. Ashby from the shotgun keeps it himself. And he's still running the football as he gets across the 35-yard line down to about the 32. And one of the Panthers is slow getting up. That's Bailey Turner, but he gets up. Ashby, who faked it to Morgan, kept it himself and went right up the middle for a good gain that time as he comes over to the sideline, and he looks a little banged up. And Ashby's going to come out of the game for a moment. And they talk to Morgan that he's going to go back in at quarterback. 1:24 to go. Your 2 star skill players players, Ashby and Smith, both on the bench in this first game. Although Ashby seems to be not injured too badly, it's something to do with his right arm. So now Devin Morgan takes over at quarterback. Backs behind him, and there's a penalty. There's a motion against the Timberwolves as Martinez got enough for a first down on 2nd and 3, but it's a motion call against the Timberwolves. One of the problems, it is the first game of the year, and when you get kids in there substituting for injured players, those are the kind of things that happen. You have motion penalties, you have block schemes get broken down by failing to execute. Anyway, Fort Bragg leads 20-7, down to 1:03 to go, third quarter now. That 5-yard penalty is going to set it back now to the 40, or call it the 37-yard line of McKinleyville. 2nd down and 7. 2 men split right, 2 men split left. Ashby's back in the game now at quarterback. And he gives it to Morgan, who's dropped in the backfield for a loss by Mark Mateg. It's going to set up 3rd and long. Loss of about 5 yards, I believe. It's going to be 3rd down, and I'll call it a 4-yard loss. 3rd down and about 11 now. Ball at the 41-yard line of McKinleyville. Under a minute to go now as the third quarter winds down. Fort Bragg leading 20-7. You're listening to a rebroadcast of this game on the Skunk FM, and you're viewing it on MendocinoTV.com. This will be the last play of the third quarter. Ashby from the shotgun, 3rd and 11. He's back to pass, and a quick pass on an out pattern to Vaughn is incomplete. I thought I saw a penalty flag fly. Maybe not. So it's 4th down and 11, and that was not the final play because the pass was incomplete and stops the clock with 13 seconds to go. Smith, Zach Smith, injured his right knee, is still on the bench talking with the trainer for the Timberwolves. And now it looks like Fort Bragg's going to send the punting team out. And remember, Zach Smith's also the punter, so he will not be punting this football. Instead is Scooty Titus is back there in punt formation for the Timberwolves. They're short one player on special teams who runs out. Timberwolves will be punting. Titus lined up at his own 48-yard line. Gets a snap, gets the kick away, kicks it, gets a nice bounce for the Timberwolves down to about the 9-yard line. So good punt by Scooty Titus. With 4 seconds to go in the third quarter, McKinleyville will have it inside their own 10-yard line. 20-7, Fort Bragg leads here at Timberwolves Stadium. Again, a lot of concern on the bench there with star running back Zach Smith still sitting and talking to the trainer. And though he left under his own power, you never know with a knee injury. When you first get a knee injury, a ligament, especially not one that's torn, but one that's stretched out or sprained, you can walk off and it doesn't hurt too much. All right, McKinleyville has it. Grace gives to the first back. He's still on his feet, but he's dropped for no gain, and that's the end of the third quarter. Nice tackle that time by Martinez. So the Fort Bragg Timberwolves head to the fourth quarter with a lead. It's Fort Bragg 20, McKinleyville 7. 12 minutes of football left here tonight as the Timberwolves will try and close it out with a win. Get set, the fourth quarter is coming up with Fort Bragg leading 20-7. All right, we get ready to start the fourth quarter with Zach Smith still on the bench with an apparent knee injury. The Timberwolves leading by a score of 20-7. And if you joined us late here on this rebroadcast, the JVs from Fort Bragg won 12-6 in the JV game. So here we go, the fourth quarter about to start. It's 2nd down and 10 for McKinleyville, the ball at their own 9-yard line. Lane Grace at quarterback over center. Gives to the first guy through. It's Gunderson, and he's dropped after about a 5-yard gain right off left tackle that time. It'll be now 3rd down and about 5. The ball this deep in the territory actually picked up about 6 yards, so it's going to be 3rd down and 4. The ball just across the 15-yard line. So McKinleyville comes up with a big play here. They split Hathcock way out to the right. Man split out left. Grace is in the shotgun formation. Takes the snap. Keeps it himself. Ashby makes a stop. Setting up 4th down at the 15-yard line. Nice play by Tyler Ashby, and he gets up limping a little bit. He may have just got a cramp that time. He's stretching it out a little bit as McKinleyville gets ready to punt. Ashby was going to come off limping, favoring that right leg. Now he's going to stay out there and go back in punt formation. Along with him is Ty Vaughn in punt formation. McKinleyville has it 4th down and less than 5 yards to go. 4.5. The ball at their own 15. Now remember, Fort Bragg was able to draw McKinleyville off on a 4th down play. So the Timberwolves need to be disciplined here and make them punt, not give them anything on a penalty. There's the snap. The punt gets away. It's a good one. Chasing Vaughn back. He lets it bounce. It takes a Panther bounce down to the 40, inside the 40, down to the 30-yard line where it's downed, and a nice punt. A flag goes out from one of the officials. A couple of flags are out. Flags are at about the 45-yard line. And on a punt that no one touched, that one of the players downed, you wonder who committed what kind of a penalty. 10:18 to go in the game. Fort Bragg leading 20-7. And a personal foul called against McKinleyville. So that'll help the Timberwolves. That'll move it up from the 30-yard line out to about their own 45. 15 yards. Somebody probably took a cheap shot while that ball was bouncing around there because that penalty flag came in late. And again, there didn't seem to be too much going on the field at the time. So Fort Bragg has it 1st and 10. And Ashby is in the game at quarterback and shotgun. And he's going to get dropped for, no, I'm sorry, that was a fake to Ashby. Ashby was not at quarterback that time. In fact, Morgan was the quarterback and Ashby was the running back. And the snap went to Morgan and he ran it up the middle, picking up only a couple yards. We'll watch that clock now. That's the factor. Fort Bragg leading 20-7. Under 10 minutes to go now in the game. That was about a 3-yard gain by Morgan that time, 2nd down and 7. Morgan, who came in and started running the football once Zach Smith was injured, has stayed in the game. Now Ashby back at quarterback with Morgan, the running back. The fake to Morgan. Ashby keeps the ball, dives forward to about midfield. Only a couple-yard gain that time. Going to be 3rd down now and about 5. 9:26, 9:25, 9:24 to go in the game. Ashby's really limping. So like I said, your two skill position players, Tyler Ashby and Zach Smith, both banged up here in this first game. We did talk during our halftime interview with Coach Roy Perkins. That's exactly what we talked about. At this level in high school, you cannot afford injuries, especially to your skill position players. Though you might have depth on the team as the season progresses, those kind of guys are pretty much irreplaceable. I might point out, too, that Nathan Johnson, who scored a touchdown tonight and has looked good, also seemed to be favoring his ankle or seemed to have some sort of an injury himself. Right now they're working on Tyler Ashby on the sideline. He appears to have some sort of a cramp. Zach Smith, who's got his right knee taped with some ice on it, is limping. He's definitely not going to get back in there tonight as he gets up off the bench for the first time in a long time. Meanwhile, the trainer for the Timberwolves is working on Ashby's leg on the sideline during this timeout. You're listening to the Skunk FM, a rebroadcast of this game. Fort Bragg leading 20-7, viewing it on MendocinoTV.com. So Costello comes in at quarterback now. Anthony Costello takes the snap, and as soon as he throws, he's hit, and they're calling it an incomplete pass. And McKinleyville wants a fumble, as Costello that time was hit immediately by the Panther defense. I think that was Mateg that jumped on his back. Also, could have been Kelton McGarry. They both were right there as soon as that ball was snapped. And Fort Bragg leading 20-7. 8:49 to go in the game now. It's going to set up fourth down, the ball right at midfield, and the Timberwolves will punt it away. And it looks like with all the injuries to their offense that it's going to be up to the defense to hold this lead tonight. King back in receiving formation for the Panthers as Scooty Titus gets a kick away. King steps up, takes it at the 20 to the 25, busts a tackle. He's open in the field across the 40 to the 45 up to midfield and finally brought down, and a penalty flag goes in where normally you would see face mask. Well, we'll see what this penalty is about, but if they tack on more yardage, then McKinleyville's going to have excellent field position. Plenty of time left in this game, 8:35, with both Ashby and Smith also defensive stalwarts on the sideline. Personal foul against McKinleyville and an illegal blow to the head. So that's 15 yards the other way against McKinleyville, who certainly at this point don't want to hurt themselves, trailing 20-7. So a nice return by King is going to be taken all the way back to their own 35-yard line where they'll have it 1st and 10. The Timberwolves defense now kind of wondering who's going to be in there. Nathan Johnson, as I mentioned, it's his right leg. He keeps limping around. So your three starting backfield members, Ashby, Smith, and Johnson, all with apparent leg injuries right now for the Timberwolves. So here come the Panthers on offense. Grace in the shotgun. Gives it to now pitchback, the old pitchback sneak play, long bomb. Man's wide open, and he misses the pass. Travis Nichols that time was looking over his left shoulder the whole way. Had he looked over his right shoulder, that could have been a touchdown. The old flea flicker play where he give to the back, he turns and pitches it back to the quarterback, and they almost pulled it off that time as Nichols was open. Morgan on the coverage that time was beat by about 5 yards. He no doubt stepped up when the back had the ball, as most defensive backs would do under the flea flicker play. And luckily for the Timberwolves, it fell incomplete, but it stops the clock. 8:27 to go in the game, 20-7, Fort Bragg leading. Grace again out of the shotgun. 2 men split to the left. He rolls that way. He's got blocking. He looks, he throws, and it's overthrown that time, incomplete. Intended for Campbell, I believe, on the far side. It's getting foggy enough to where the numbers are a little difficult to see. And again, the clock stops with 8:22 to go in the game. 3rd down and 10. Nathan Johnson back out on the field for the Timberwolves in the backfield at safety position. Smith still sitting on the bench for the Timberwolves, Zach Smith. So here we go. It's 3rd down and 10 for McKinleyville. The ball at their own 35. They send a man in motion. That's Tanner King out to the right. Back to pass is Grace. He's got plenty of time. He steps in the pocket. He's going to take off, and he's dropped. As Scooty Titus comes up to make the initial hit. And there to finish him off that time was Brett Giacomella, setting up 4th down at their own 40. Actually, ball at their own 39-yard line. Well, trailing with 8 minutes to go in the game, 20-7, McKinleyville will probably not punt it away. My guess would be they'd go for it at this point of the field. Although the Timberwolves are expecting a punt. Vaughn and Morgan are deep. They might have to run up here quickly if McKinleyville does not elect to punt, and they are coming up to the line of scrimmage, although their quarterback, Grace, and there's probably a delay of game call against the McKinleyville Panthers because it sure took a while to get this play off. That is the call, delay a game against McKinleyville, so it's 5 yards back. It's going to be 4th down and 11 now. And no doubt they might punt it here. There's still time for them to get back in this game, even if they punt it away, when you consider the injuries are starting to pile up for the Timberwolves right now. Ashby still on the bench, favoring his right leg. Although he looks like he's grabbing his helmet and may go back out there. And the Timberwolves call a timeout. So we're going to keep it here with 7:36 to go in the game during this timeout. You're listening to a rebroadcast of this first game of the year for the Timberwolves, leading 20-7 over the McKinleyville Panthers, as a lot of the concern now isn't really for the scoreboard, but is for the sideline with their star player, Zach Smith, who is expected to have such a tremendous season with a ace bandage and a ice pack on his right knee. And when the injury occurred back in the third quarter, he was writhing on the ground, holding his hands to the side of his helmet, and this is a tough kid. So hopefully it's not real serious, but he clearly is limping, and we'll just hope for the best at this point. Ashby, who appeared to have more of a cramp, is back out on the field for Fort Bragg. Fort Bragg is being very careful at this point now, as they're going to make sure that if McKinleyville's going to punt, they're just going to let them punt. They've got nobody back to return it. Grace, the quarterback, is in punt formation for McKinleyville. He gets a snap, and he does, in fact, kick it away, and they let him do so as that ball takes a bounce inside the 30 and is downed at about the 22-yard line. So with 7:25 to go in the game, Fort Bragg takes over 1st and 10, and who runs out on the field? Let's see. Devin Morgan, who had been at quarterback when Ashby was on the sideline, is in the huddle. I'm looking to see if Ashby is on the field or on the sideline, and at this point I can't tell. Ashby is going to run out on the field. And is in the game. So your starting quarterback returns to the huddle for the Timberwolves. They need to get this play off quickly because it took a while to set up. The referee is counting away. And there's that delay a game flag. I could see that one coming. Timberwolves took too long as Ashby took a while to get on the huddle. So it'll be 1st and 15, 5 yards back at about the 16-yard line. Well, that third quarter sailed right along, but the fourth quarter now is taking a little time. Well, I'm not sure. Maybe McKinleyville had too many men on the field because a 5-yard penalty went the other way. It was against them. And there's a give to Morgan. He breaks one tackle and gets to the 34-yard line. And that was a 5-yard penalty against McKinleyville, so my mistake on that. It was not a delay of game call. They must have had too many men on the field. I noticed the official was moving his right hand. It looked like he was like a basketball official, letting you know how many seconds were left before he got it across half court. But I think instead what he was really doing was counting the McKinleyville players. And when Fort Bragg came up to the line of scrimmage and there were too many players out there, then he threw the flag. Well, one of the stars for the Panthers defense trots off. It looks Mark Mateg is favoring a leg. Ashby back in the game, gives to Morgan, right side. Morgan gets a couple yards up across the 35 to the 36-yard line. 6:35 to go in the game. Fort Bragg 20, McKinleyville 7. Ashby back in the game. Don't know that they want him to carry the football much more than he has to tonight because he suffered some sort of a leg cramp or a leg injury. He is back out there now. Maybe not at full strength, but it's good to see. Two backs in the I formation behind Ashby. One man split right. They give it to Morgan again. He cuts through, gets a nice gain across the 45 down to the 46-yard line, and it's a first down for Fort Bragg. And Devin Morgan, who's come into this game, has looked very good. He has scored a touchdown tonight, and he's shown some toughness, some savvy running the football, and it's a good thing he was able to step up tonight, or this game might be a little bit closer than it is. 5:56 to go. Still plenty of time. Fort Bragg with a 2-touchdown lead, leading 20-7. They've been ahead this entire game. Ashby at quarterback with Titus and Morgan behind him now. right over center, gives it to Morgan. Morgan behind Titus blocking. Gets some tough yardage, a few, but it's positive. Down to 5:30 to go in the game. So the ball now at the Fort Bragg 47-yard line. One thing when you run the football, as I pointed out earlier, and most fans know, that clock continues to run. When you're a passing team and you're behind, it tends to take a little bit longer. But Fort Bragg with the lead now, trying to run the clock down. Ashby, 2 men again in the I formation behind him. Gives to the first, and there's a fumble, and picking up the fumble was one of the Timberwolves that time, as Morgan fumbled the football that time. King made the tackle and caused the fumble, but Villapando picked up the fumble for the Timberwolves, and it's going to be 3rd down and about 4. Back in the game for the McKinleyville Panthers is Mark Mateg, who ran off a while ago. He's really been all over the field for the Panthers on defense. So a big play for the Timberwolves, 3rd down and about 4 now. Ball across midfield into McKinleyville territory at their 48-yard line. They need to get it to about the 44. There's Morgan, and he's going to get short of the first down as he's dropped at about the 45-yard line. Well, his initial progress, it looked like, got to the 45, setting up 4th down and 1. We're under 4 minutes to go in the game now. And Fort Bragg looks like they're going to go for it. If they can get a first down here, they can run more time off the clock. So Fort Bragg is going to go for it, it looks like. So the Panthers need to stiffen here on defense if they're going to get back in this game. This is a huge play for them. So Timberwolves up to the line of scrimmage now quickly as they need to get this play off in time. Ashby with the backs in the I formation. And there goes the flag. Delay a game, I think. Or no, it was they drew McKinleyville offsides. Again, my mistake. And that's the second time a hard count by Ashby on a 4th down play has drawn the Panthers offsides. That's 5 yards. More importantly, it's 4 more downs. And more important than that, the clock now will continue to tick down. Panthers do have some timeouts left here in the second half. Whether they decide to use them or not, we'll see. 20-7, Fort Bragg leading. 3 minutes and 5 seconds left in the game. Good game tonight. Ashby with his backs in the I formation. Morgan in the game. The give is to Morgan, and he gets some tough yardage across McKinleyville's 40 down to about the 36-yard line, and a penalty flag comes flying in at the end of this play. And it looks like it could be against the Panthers. Don't want to be too quick to judge, but that's sometimes when a tackle is being made, somebody gets a hand on a face mask or a blow to the head. It's a short 5-yard penalty, so it's not a personal foul type of penalty, but it's moving in the right direction for the Timberwolves. And after the penalty is assessed, the clock is running. 2:43, 2:42, 2:41 to go in the game. Fort Bragg leading 20-7. All right, here we go. Ashby up to the line of scrimmage. Backs behind him. Morgan along with Martinez. They pitch to Morgan right side, and he cuts it back inside. He's got some good yardage across the 25-yard line down to the McKinleyville 24-yard line. Down now under 2 minutes to go in this game. Fort Bragg will huddle up, leading 20-7. Well, it's good to see Ashby get back in the game, but two of the great skill position players going into this season, Nathan Johnson and Zach Smith, are both on the sideline and have been there most of this second half. Primary concern, of course, is for number 28, Zach Smith. He's not only the talent that he is on the football field, but he's a great emotional leader of this team too. So 1st and 10 for the Timberwolves now as they can run the clock down. 1:43 to go in the game. Ashby gives to Morgan. Morgan is dropped for a loss. Gunderson along with Mateg in there on the stop for McKinleyville. And now the Panthers will call a timeout with 1:27 to go, trailing 20-7. Clock stops. And we'll keep it right here. You're listening to a rebroadcast of this game on the Skunk FM and watching it, if you are, on the internet on MendocinoTV.com. I'm Lindy Peters. In what has been a very hard-fought game by both teams. Even though the Timberwolves have been ahead throughout this game, the Panthers have played some very tough, hard-hitting football, as they usually do. McKinleyville sports programs are always tough, whether it's basketball, football, or baseball. They bring it to you, and they came down here with a good team. They looked a little off, I would say, at the start of this game. They were running sort of a no-huddle offense, running that veer option offense, and it didn't seem to be doing much, and they seemed to go to a different type of offense for a while there. They got back in the game, but it's been a hard-hitting game all day, all night here. I should say we started off where it was daylight, but under the lights, in the fog, here we go, back to action. The Timberwolves pitch it back to Scooty Titus, who is hit and dropped King for the Panthers with the stop, along with Matt Cook. And sort of some late extracurricular action there. Although Titus was down, they tried to strip the football from him. And now there's a penalty flag on the play. Might be a little frustration on the part of McKinleyville now. Although they're talking to the Panthers, I'm not sure. They might just be telling whoever committed the penalty what he did. There's another penalty flag coming in late. Holding is a call against the Timberwolves. Maybe that second flag was just reiterating the first flag. Well, the holding call will move the Timberwolves back. 1:15 to go in the game. It's pretty much academic, I would think, at this point, although miracles do happen. In Fort Bragg's case, it would be disasters because this game seems to be under control now at this point. It's going to be third down and about 21 yards to go. Ashby brings him up to the line of scrimmage here. Under a minute to go now as the clock continues to run. As Ashby, with his backs in the I formation now, takes a snap, fakes, runs to his right. He's going to keep it and just slide down. And he slides down and gets jumped on by the Panthers. You could maybe hear the crowd across the way. 34 seconds and counting down in this game as the fog gets thick and the crowd starts to get up from their seats here along the Timberwolves sidelines. It looks to be over at this point. No attempt to stop the clock by the Panthers. 13, 12, 11, 10 seconds to go. And it looks like it's all over, but the screaming and the shouting, as they say, sort of a bittersweet win. We'll see how badly Zach Smith is hurt as he goes out to exhort his team after a hard-fought victory. Tyler Ashby, who also seemed to be hurt, came in there and finished up the game. Nathan Johnson seemed to be hurt. He did not really play much in the second half. So, like I said, kind of a bittersweet win, but the Timberwolves win it. They scored early when Zach Smith scored from 3 yards out and gave the Timberwolves a 6-0 lead. Also, Nathan Johnson with a 20-yard touchdown reception on a fourth down play. A 2-point conversion from Smith made it 14-0 with 10:50 to go in the second quarter. McKinleyville was able to score after a fumble set up a touchdown. With 6:09 to go in the first half, they got a 1-yard run from Lane Grace and made it 14-7 after Deemer kicked the extra point. Then the Timberwolves leading 14-7 with Zach Smith on the sideline injured. Got a nice 7-yard touchdown run from Devin Morgan, who came in a reserve role for Smith and did a great job tonight. And that was the final score. It ended up 20-7 as the extra point failed. So a good job by the McKinleyville Panthers tonight under Coach Sean Curry, but they were beat by the Fort Bragg Timberwolves, who opened the season under Roy Perkins with a victory, a hard-fought win, and hopefully one that doesn't have too many injuries to recoup for next week's game. Again, the final from Timberwolves Stadium here on the Skunk FM and MendocinoTV.com. It's Fort Bragg 20, McKinleyville 7. Thanks for listening, thanks for viewing, and get set for an exciting season at Timberwolf football as they open the season with a big victory tonight over the McKinleyville Panthers. I'm Lindy Peters from MendocinoTV.com and the Skunk Radio, home of the Fort Bragg Timberwolves, and we're with head coach Roy Perkins as he gets set to field the team for the 2013 season. Last year, Roy, you came late, just a couple of weeks before the season started, if that, and you took your team not only to the league championship but a first-round playoff win. Reviewing last year and taking the team like you did, what did you learn from last year that you can bring to this year?
Well, I learned that the offseason is very important. Offensively, it was when I got here last year, we were very basic, focused on defense because we knew that was easier to put the defense in first. But we did not run things offensively that we will be running this year because we had the offseason and so many more reps and summer camps and so forth. So offensively, we should be much more refined, and our execution should be better from the very beginning. Last year we came out a little slow offensively. If you remember, first game was a very close game. Second game we did not execute offensively. So I expect much better things on the offensive side of the ball this year because of all the reps we've had in the offseason.
Now, last year your two losses came to two teams from up north, St. Bernard's and Arcata. You opened the season against McKinleyville, and the Panthers, another team from that region. Boy, that could be a tough way to start the season.
Oh, they'll be a real good opponent. They're going to be solid. They'll be physical, and they've got some very good athletes. So, yes, we'll have our hands full. We expect a very competitive, difficult game.
Now, let's talk about some of your skill players that are coming back. First off, Zach Smith. He came, I won't say came out of nowhere because he looked good from the start of the season, but as the season progressed, he got better and better. He was the Redwood Empire NCL1 Offensive Player of the Year. He just had what I would call a tremendous season, just a junior. He's back. How's he look?
Well, Zach is bigger and stronger and faster. He has worked extremely hard all off season. He's one of a group of kids that was up here twice a week all winter long, working out starting at 6 a.m. in the morning. He's the type of kid that success to him basically, I think, meant that he had to work harder. He's kind of got a chip on his shoulder. He wants to improve every single day. He's disappointed in himself if he doesn't. Very humble, team-oriented. He never focuses on himself. That's why he works so hard. I don't think Zach ever takes a day off. You could come up here on a weekend, he's running the steps and so forth. So he's a special kid. He's going to do some very special things. I'm kind of excited about watching him play.
All right, I think we all are. Let's talk, too, about your quarterback, Tyler Ashby. He's back. He ran sort of the read option, I guess you could call it, or the veer last year. And this year, any changes in offense, and what do you expect from Ashby? He, a couple of times, including the Willits game last year, had to throw the football, especially at the end of that game. And what an amazing comeback that was, and his first chance to really showcase his talent throwing the football. And, boy, you came back, one of the more exciting games of the year last year. How's he look, Tyler Ashby?
He is also vastly improved. He had an awful lot of pressure put upon him because our offense is a veer offense. Everything's an option. He's the guy that's got to make every read, and last year he had no off-season reps. So he came in. I arrived the first week. We started running it. It was difficult for him because he had not had the experience. Now he does have the experience. He's had an off-season, spring ball, and so forth. He's vastly improved. As far as reading the offense, it'll be a night and day difference. He's bigger, stronger. He's put in tremendous time. He's gone to quarterback camps, throwing the ball much better. So I expect him to be maybe the most improved player on the team. He should really step to the forefront and be much improved over last year.
Who are some of the other skill position players who are back? I know you lost, 17 graduating seniors from your team last year?
Yeah. That hurts. Anytime you lose 17 kids, that's very difficult. But athletically, we are still real solid. We have a couple kids that didn't play last year that are playing this year. Tyvon, of course, who played tight end, has increased his speed tremendously. He's playing a wide receiver and linebacker. Shane Tupper, who didn't play last year, is out this year. He's a very good athlete. Devin Morgan from the JVs is up playing running back and receiver. He adds a lot of speed. So we have a lot of speed, a lot of athletic ability. We had a senior transfer in from Sacramento who is going to add some speed to the backfield also. So he's kind of a complement to Zach in the backfield. He's Nathaniel Johnson from Sacramento. He will add some speed and a very skilled, gifted kid. So athletically, we're still real solid.
Let's take a look at the schedule for a moment now. You're going down to San Francisco. You're taking on Galileo in the first month of the season. And then, of course, league starts. Who do you look out for in the league, and what about your preseason schedule? What about Galileo? You know anything about those guys?
They're solid. I wanted a very difficult road game before we started the league, and that's just what we got. So we're going to San Francisco to play on a Friday on an artificial turf field at a big school in a big environment, and that's just what these kids need. I want to see how they react in that environment. They're a big school, very talented, had a good season last year. They'll have some very good athletes. So I want to see these kids against that type competition. McKinleyville will be solid. St. Bernard's has a new coach. They will throw the ball a lot, so that'll be an athletic challenge. Then Galileo after a bye week, and then the league starts. The league is very balanced. I think most of the teams in the league are improved. Lower Lake has a new coach and a good group of kids coming back. Kelseyville has a new coach and a good group. And, of course, Middletown, St. Helena will be very good. And we have to go on the road against them. So every week's a battle in the league.
All right.
You never know how the league's going to turn out. We can just take it one game at a time.
You mentioned Lower Lake. I had a feeling last year when I watched that team play, I was surprised at their record, how poor they were. They had some really good football players, and they had some skill position players that looked like they might be pretty darn good this year. I think some of them are coming back. Their JVs look good, so I guess the Trojans might be the team to look out for this year.
They're going to be solid. That's our first league game, and I'm glad we have them here at home. But they've got some athletic ability, big kids. New coach is doing a real good job with them, so I know they're going to be a formidable opponent right off the bat when the league starts.
All right, I'm Lindy Peters for MendocinoTV.com and Skunk Radio. We're talking to head coach Roy Perkins. Any thoughts as you go into the season? Again, you've got some new kids this year. You're reflecting, I imagine a lot of people are expecting a lot out of this team this year. It's always tough to predict injuries and that sort of thing. I'm sure Fort Bragg's kids are in good shape. You always get them in good shape. And any thoughts as you go in?
Well, I think the key to the season, just like any other season, we had a solid group of seniors last year that we lost, but we also were blessed with very few injuries. Injuries just decimate a high school team because we don't have much depth. So if we stay healthy, we're going to be real competitive. We have new kids up front in the offensive line, and for the first time that I remember, we're probably going to start 2 sophomores also. So we brought a couple kids off the JVs. So depth is an issue, but if we stay healthy, we have the athletic kids that we should be good and competitive. Health, injuries are the key. That's the thing you can't control.
How about some of your assistant coaches? Who are they this year? Who do you got helping you out?
I have pretty much the same group as last year. Of course, Justin Cipolla he was the JV head coach last year. He's just going to work with the varsity this year, as will Mark Cimolino. And then Frank Solari, who was with us last year, will be the head JV coach. And then we have a new coach who teaches in the district, Ben Brown, who will help with the JVs. He actually is from the Oroville area, and he actually played at Butte College when Aaron Rodgers was there. So we have some experience. Of course, Adam Dondonville, who's an assistant with the varsity, and defense on the defensive side of the ball is working with the varsity again also. So we have a very good, experienced coaching staff, and all of them, except Ben, of course, believe it or not, were playing here when I was coaching, which is pretty unusual and, pretty blessed with that. I have great support from the assistant coaches, as well as from this community. When you look at the stadium and see what we have built here, or they have built here, it's pretty phenomenal. absolute wonderful support. Couldn't ask for any better people to be working with.
All right, head coach Roy Perkins, the Fort Bragg Timberwolves. For MendocinoTV.com, I'm Lindy Peters. Good luck, Coach. We look forward to a great season.
Thank you very much.